Southeast welcomes proposed bill to cement northern Nigerians de facto secession and self-governance. This is coming from Uche Mefo. The Southeast region welcomed the proposed bill to amend Section 262 and 277 of the Nigerian Constitution, which aims to expound the scope of Sharia law in northern Nigeria. We, the Igbo Biafra nationalists and indigenous people of Igbo nation for self-determination, recognize that this bill is not a mere amendment or a minor legislative tweak, but a decisive step towards establishing de facto secession and self-governance for northern Nigeria for the Southeast. This bill only confirms what we have already witnessed, that Nigeria is a fractured state, a state where unfriendly ethnic nationalities are conceived to live together in a toxic enterprise, where each region has its own parts and separate interests. Yes, you heard right. These proposed amendments cement a reality that the Igbo Biafra nationalists and indigenous people for Igbo nation for self-determination have long argued. Nigeria is an inherently divided entity, and attempts to force it into an artificial unity have only perpetuated cycles of oppression, discrimination, and marginalization for regions like the Southeast. So let us be clear, this bill, under the guise of expounding legal provisions, is actually a bill to cement the outright and substantive secession of northern Nigeria. The not pursuit of autonomy through Sharia law stands in stark contrast to the ununified secular model that was meant to bind Nigeria together as a single entity. It is not only a departure from the principles of secularism, but also a direct challenge to the very idea of a united Nigerian state, which has been to the detriment and strangulation of the Southeast region. Away with this bill, the North has clearly demonstrated its desire for autonomous governance based on religious principles, effectively position itself as a state within a state to the detriment of other regions, but especially the Southeast. Given these developments, we, the Igbo Biafra nationalists and indigenous people of Biafra, the indigenous people of Igbo nation for self-determination, see no reason to wait for this bill to pass in its entirety before taking action. So we urge all political representatives from the Southeast region in particular, and those from the southern and north central regions, more boldly to join and support a bill for the dissolution of Nigeria. This is not a call for disorder or bravery. It is a demand for justice, equity, and the right of each region to pursue self-determination on its own terms. The bill to amend Section 262 and 277 represents an unmistakable move towards a separate legal framework for northern Nigeria as an entitlement and as a region born to rule the rest of us by expanding the jurisdiction of Sharia law. This bill effectively grants the North, in addition, a substantive autonomy that allows it to operate at will outside the Nigerian secular constitution to the enslavement of other regions, and especially the Southeast. The North Eastern Six on enforcing Sharia law on an expanded scale is a clear rejection of the foundational principles of Nigeria unity whenever it wills and suits it, which signals a formal recognition that northern Nigeria is on a path to de facto independence. This bill, if passed, would further establish and consolidate a due legal system within Nigeria already championed by the former governor Ahmed Sani Iyarima in 1999 and come into effect on January 27, 2000, from whence the northern region has since been operating under that religious legal code that is fundamentally at odds with the secular laws that govern the rest of the country. Such a legal framework goes beyond mere accommodation of religious values. It is assumption of regional autonomy that positioned northern Nigeria as a distinct legal and governance entity within the country. This is, in very sense, substantive secession, and we recognize it as such. According to Uche Mefo, he said the Igbo people and the Southeast region have borne the brunt of Nigerians' discriminatory policies, facing underrepresentation in government economic deprivation and targeted violence. The North push for Sharia expansion is only the latest in a long line of policies, and that demonstrates the incompatibility of Nigeria's diverse regions within a single ununified state. If the Southwest and the North Central hesitate, then it is advisable for the Southeast to act alone, leading the way in this call for dissolution, thereby securing a future that aligns with the region's cultural, social, and economic aspirations. Uche Mefo is a convener of the Igbo Biafra Nationalist and Indigenous People of Biafra Nation for Self-Determination. So guys, what's your take on this? Let's hear from you. Kindly drop your comments below the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Share this video, let it go viral. Thank you and bye for now.